In this video, I am going to teach you how to declare variables in JavaScript. So now, what is a variable in JavaScript? So in JavaScript and so many other programming languages, variable can be regarded as a container for data. However, in declaring variables in JavaScript, there are three mainly keywords that we use in declaring variables in JavaScript. And those keywords are let, const, and var. Now, let me start with the example of how to declare JavaScript variable using the let keyword. So to declare variable in JavaScript by making use of the let keyword is to first of all write down the let keyword like this. Now followed with identifier, which stands as the name in which you use in recognizing that particular variable. So in this example, I'm going to use X. Now, as you see, as it is written like this, I have declared variable in JavaScript, but I have not assigned a value to it, which means that the variable is still empty, or better say, that the container is still empty. There is nothing inside it. So now moving ahead, let me assign a value to this particular variable. And for that, I'm going to assign 10 to it and enclose it with semicolon. Then as it is like this, if I happen to declare more two variables, which I'm going to assign the value of 20 on this one and come down to declare another one followed with equals to. Then what I'm going to do here is to add the value of the X and the Y together and assign the total of the two to this Z variable. So for that, what I'm going to do is to say X plus Y and enclose it with semicolon. Now, as it is like this now, if you happen to save this and go over to your web page, what you will see there is the total value of these two. But before it can be displayed on our web page, we need to write a JavaScript command, which means we can say something like documents.getElements by ID bracket and come up with double quotes. Now, in between these two double quotes, I'm going to insert the ID name of this particular paragraph so that we can use it to display the contents of this total value of these two variables joined together. So that is why here, in between these two double quotes, I'm going to write demo, which is the ID of this particular paragraph. And now come over at the back of the closing of the bracket. Now I'll come up with dots. Inner HTML is equals to double quotes. The total value of Z is, then make a space and come up with the closing of the double quotes. Then now I'm going to say plus Z, which is the total value of this Z variable, is what is going to display here. So with this, I'm going to enclose it with semicolon. Now, if you go ahead and save this document, then go over to your web page. As you see that the total value of Z is that, which means we have added the value of X and Y together here in the Z variable. And the total of it is, and the total of which is 30. So this is how to declare variable in JavaScript by making use of the let keyword. The other method on how to declare variable in JavaScript is by using the const keyword. So for that, if I happen to come up here now and clean out these let keywords and replace them with const, maybe go a little bit further to change the values to something else. So with this, if I happen to go ahead and save it again and go back to our web page, and now here, as you can see, this is now the value of our Z variable. So this one is the second method on how to declare variable in JavaScript. Now, the third method on how to declare variable in JavaScript is by making use of the var keyword, which is that I'm going to change all these keywords to var. So now var is one of the old method in declaring variable in JavaScript. Now you might be asking, what are the differences between these three keywords? When should I make use of any of them? So the difference between these two keywords are, if you are making use of the const keyword, then make sure that the value of that particular const keyword are not going to be changed. Likewise, the data type of that particular const keyword. But in case you are going to reassign a value to your variable, then you are advised to make use of the let keyword. So furthermore, we can also declare variables in JavaScript by using only one straight line, which means I can declare a JavaScript variable. Like if I make use of the let keyword, I can say let person is equals to double quotes Chinedu, then come over at the back and put a comma and say car name, for example, is equals to double quotes Toyota. Then also come over at the back of the closing of this double quotes and put another comma and say, let's say, for example, car model equals to double quotes Camry. Just as you can see that I let everything to display in one line. And as it is like this, you can also break them to, like, let's say, for example, like this, and make sure there is a semicolon at the back of the last one like this. Now, as you can see, the only identifier that harbors all these names are person. So the person is the identifier of this particular variable keyword. And for now, this brings us to the end of this particular video on how to declare variables in JavaScript. So thank you for watching and hope to see you in the next videos.